Well, hello there, people with the internet, and hello again. I'm TheMBmulti. Welcome to part 29 of Doki Doki Blue Skies. We are back. In your case, it would just be a few days because the previous episode would have been on a Thursday, and this episode would be on a Tuesday. So, in your case, it wouldn't be much of a difference because it would just continue on. But yeah, it's been a while since I played. It is what is it? It's the 9th of February today. And I played this last somewhere mid-January, so it's been quite a while since I have played this game. The reason it sounds incredibly fucking pathetic and silly, but the reason why is because I kind of had to process the entire story that I went through with Yuri, because of course, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, I went the Yuri route first. Again, because I selected the poem words based on my experience. Instead of specifically choosing the poem words to go for a specific girl, I just chose the poem words that described me, and then I just wanted to see what girl I would end up with. And for the second time in a row, I ended up with Yuri, because that happened in the original game and it happened here again. And that made a lot of sense because, as I've mentioned before, Yuri is basically a female version of me, with some exceptions, of course. But anyway, I had to kind of process the whole story that I went through with Yuri, because I kind of felt like, I mean, again, it will sound incredibly sad and pathetic and whatever, but it kind of felt like cheating, you know? Like, I went through all this effort with Yuri, and then I'm like, oh yeah, well, now I'm gonna go make Natsuki my girlfriend, or Sayori my girlfriend, and like, it's like disregard them as like, just like, usable objects rather than actual people, which doesn't make any fucking sense because they are literally not even alive. But on the other hand, so yeah, that's kind of pathetic. But on the other hand, it's like, well, credits to the fucking developers to make the game in such a way that I actually think about them as real people, even though they obviously aren't. So, you know, it's kind of like a... but anyway, we finished Yuri route. We got the good ending because, well, I really couldn't see why that was the bad ending. I did Google what the bad ending was for Yuri, and I'm super glad that I didn't actually get to see that because that was extremely sad. I'm not going to tell you what happens. You have to find it out for yourself. You can Google it on YouTube, and you'll find... Google on YouTube? You can Google it or find it on YouTube, I guess. That sentence, that's how that sentence would have gone. Anyway, today we're going playing again because I want all the good endings. Well, I already pretty much if I remember correctly, I very elaborately said which route I'm going to take now. And even if I haven't said it in the end of the previous episodes, I'm pretty sure if you paid even a little bit of attention, you'll think that you'll easily guess what my next choice is going to be, because the entire time during my first playthrough, if I wasn't worrying about Yuri, I was worrying about Sayori. So we're going to go for the Sayori route in this playthrough. Because, you know, I just, like, any time when I wasn't worried or, like, supporting Yuri or whatever, like, of course, primarily I was with Yuri, because, you know, that was the Yuri route. So, obviously, my mind was mostly focused on Yuri, but anytime when it wasn't focused on Yuri, it was focused on Sayori. And I was fucking urging the character in the game to do something with Sayori, to spend time with her, to check up on her or whatever. So, I think it's only natural that I would go for the Sayori route now. And yeah, let's see if this game can make me cry once again. Oh yeah, well, we can skip this because this is all... Yes, allow the mod. I knew it. Oh, this is all the same. Meeting all the characters. Getting into the literature... What? Hang on. Looks to be a good variety of books available. Okay, yeah, well, I can't go Sayori, so I'll go with Yuri again. Book I think would like... Okay, well, I will read a bit. I mean, I don't want to skip everything, even though this is kind of the same. Oh, I'd be happy to. If the prospect isn't too off-putting, I know a wonderful horror novel. To be honest, horror never particularly appealed to me. Still, I want to make an effort here. I have an open mind. What book are you thinking of? Is it called Portrait of Markov, Yuri? Well, but then again, yeah, it's so annoying because I feel like I'm totally abandoning Yuri right now because I'm going through this route again, but then going for Sayori. Not that Sayori doesn't need my help. Of course she does, but, you know, I got like Yuri need, like, it's so annoying. But that was my biggest critique on the end of the Yuri route, which was the fact that I couldn't go with both. I mean, obviously you can't have multiple girlfriends, but I wanted to spend time with Yuri and then also be there for Sayori, but of course I couldn't, and of course I understand why that's not possible, because, you know, it's the Yuri route, so obviously it's going to be Yuri only, and then going to, like, neglect to some extent the other girls. So of course that makes sense, but, like, if it was real life, like, that's how I would have wanted things to go. Would have wanted to romantically get involved with Yuri, and then, but still, like, be there for Sayori. And then, especially with Yuri, I'm pretty sure that together with Yuri, we could have helped Sayori very well. Especially even if we were, like, romantically involved with one another. Like, especially if, like, if Sayori, like, told me something, and then, of course, I talk with Yuri all the time, and I could tell Yuri, hey, Sayori told me something worrying, maybe we should, like, together do something with her. I mean, even though that's probably not really what Sayori wants, because Sayori mostly wants, like, me, only me, but not really both, but I'm pretty sure that still could have been better, but yeah, whatever. Yay, Portrait of Markov. I know it looks intimidating. I know it might look intimidating, but sorry. She shakes her head and goes to put the book back, but I stop her. Don't worry about it. I'd love to check it out. What's it about? Yeah, I feel so like mean almost now that I'm just abandoning Yuri like this. Even though this isn't technically a completely different timeline, like, if you, well, like, yeah, well, whatever. Going with Yuri will always, like, going with Yuri is like canon in this case, right? Like, because that was my very first choice, and I still stand by that choice. So going with Yuri is like canon, and then this is like extended, this is expanded universe, kind of like Star Wars, you know? This is expanded universe where I either end up with Sayori or Natsuki. Let's see, the protagonist is a young... But yeah, oh, yeah, so I'm sorry that I keep interrupting. I sincerely apologize, but I really... It's so sad because Yuri really deserves someone so loving in her life. And now she's never gonna break out of her shell, I don't think. Because, of course, I'm gonna go with Sayori. I'm not gonna spend any time with Yuri. And she is not going to tackle her self-harming problem, and she's just going to walk around with all these problems that she really could use some help with, but... she is too afraid to share it with anyone, and she was sharing it with me just because we were so close to each other. Like, she doesn't deserve to be, like, burdened with that. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm actually gonna skip, though, because Yuri's gonna explain what Portrait from Markov is about, and then this is all... this is all the same as before. Okay, yeah, time to write a poem. Okay, so now this is the very first time that I actually have to specifically choose words, because this entire time before this, I only chose words that applied to me, and then I would, like, see what the game, how the game would end up, you know? Because I always picked words that would describe me and not necessarily go for a specific character, and then I would just look what the game picked for me, like, due to the words that I chose. Which I think actually was a pretty good way. I mean, of course, people say that in the comment section. The point is to specifically choose words to focus for one girl in particular, but I kind of like my way a bit better, because, you know, it still keeps it surprising, because then the game kind of picks, because I picked the words that describe me, and then those words also describe one of the girls, and then the game kind of like matches us together, which is, I think, which gives it a bit of a surprise in the end. Well, not really, because I've been linked to Yuri twice, which actually was a good link though. So it works, you know, it works. Yuri is a good person for me in, like, romantically, you know. And of course, during Act 2 and 3 of whatever of the original game, I obviously just randomly picked horrible words because I was completely in shock because of what happened to Sayori. So yeah, but now we are actually going to choose words that are specific to Sayori. So that's going to be a bit difficult because I don't really know which words are prone that that applied to Sayori very well, so I have to be careful here. And of course we get my favorite soundtrack of the game. This and Ohio Sayori are my favorite soundtracks. It's so sad that we don't hear it anywhere else in this game, because we don't write any poems after this. Anyway. Love. That must be, yeah, that's Sayori. Death? Yeah, oh fuck, man, Sayori. Depression. Oh no. Sayori. An ending? Oh, that's Yuri, okay. Okay, that's Natsuki. Raindrops. Oh, okay, I thought that would be a Sayori word. Sunshine. Yeah, there we go. A tragedy can apply to anyone, to be honest. Memories. What applies to Sayori? Adventure. Friends? Happiness? Hope? Yeah, okay. I know Sayori better than I would have thought, to be honest. Fantasy. Oh, that is Natsuki. Imagination? Oh yeah, that's Yuri. I should have known that because I've picked imagination before. Broken. Oh, it's so fucking sad that she, especially with her cute little character, is super happy that I chose an absolutely horrible word that does not apply to Sayori. I mean, it does, but you know, like when you, on the surface, it doesn't apply to Sayori at all. But apparently it does because, you know, her character jumps up. And that was a thing in the original game as well that I didn't really pick up on. I picked up it once, I believe. I picked like a rather depressing one, and then Sayori jumped, and I was like, why the hell would you be happy about that? But I didn't really think of it any further than that, unfortunately. Vibrance? Oh, okay, that's Yuri apparently. Pain, yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Dark, yeah, also fucking Sayori. Grief? Yeah, okay. Desire. Oh yeah, that's Yuri. Yeah, I should have known that. Okay, anyway, I still think I picked enough words for Sayori. Oh, we can skip all of this because this is all... Oh yeah, I fall asleep and then Sayori is in my... Oh yeah, I've done... Yeah. Also in the first... in my first playthrough, the first poem I wrote also was for Sayori. Yeah, sharing with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Wow, Mark, this is so good. Seriously, is this your first poem? Huh? It's not that good, jeez. Seriously, it is. I love it. I had no idea you were such a good poet. Sayori, you're overreacting a bit. It really is nothing special. Trust me, it is. How did you write it? What do you mean? Like, what did you think of while you wrote this? This is gonna sound a bit weird, but I thought of you? She gives me a brief look of disbelief, a faint blush on her cheeks. Me? Yeah, not like a weird way, in a weird way or anything. Just thought of words that reminded me of you, and went along with that. It just felt kind of natural doing it that way, I guess. Well, if it works, it works. Looks like this club is really the best place for you. Well, I'm glad you liked it, Sayori. Good to know I'm not totally in over my head here. She looks at me for a moment, not saying anything. There's a few moments of an odd silence. Earth to Sayori. She jumps slightly. Sorry. I'm just not used to seeing you around again, that's all. To have you in the club, writing poems. It's lovely though. Just takes a little getting used to. Yeah, that's understandable. I'm a bit surprised myself, to be honest. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's here so far. That's good to hear. Do you want to read my poem now? I'm not very good though. Only one way to find out. Yeah, I want breakfast. Yeah, I've read that before. Okay, I guess we can skip the rest because... Right, well, there is some new dialogue here because, of course, Natsuki's going to be pissed off and Yuri's also... Well, Yuri's not going to be pissed off because it's Yuri, but, you know, Yuri's going to be like, oh, interesting. Oh, it's about what I expected from someone like you. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What I mean is that it's just kinda average. Doesn't really evoke any emotions, so kinda bland for your tastes. Natsuki furrows her eyebrows at me. My taste? What's that supposed to mean, huh? Oh, nothing. Well, anyway, I guess I'll show you my poem now. Not that you'll like it or anything. Oh yeah. Sometimes... Is this a different poem? Sometimes some folks are winners, some only lose, some are go-getters, some only cruise, sometimes we try hard and give it our all, sometimes we give up. What else can we do? Is this a new one? I don't remember that one. I told you you'd hate it. Actually, I like it. What? Don't just say that because don't just say it's good because I'm a girl. Be honest. What? No, it has nothing to do with you being a girl. Oh, I can skip this again. Okay, and then Yuri. Hi, Yuri. Hugs, Yuri. I know that's probably very weird at this point because we haven't really done anything, but trust me, in another universe over yonder, we are very close, Yuri. You sketched my poem with her eyes with a blank expression on her face. So how is it? Sorry, I suppose as far as poetry goes, this isn't bad, but I'm not immensely impressed by it. Yuri turns away shamefully. I didn't No, she just keeps looking at me. I guess she's missing a sprite here. I didn't mean for that to sound so blunt. Don't worry about it, didn't take it that way. What makes you think that? Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough for her to finish reading. Is everything okay? Oh, goodness, sorry. Yeah, why does she... Yeah, she would be like, ugh! But okay, yeah, like that. And I read her poem too, and Monika. Skip all this. I've read this before. Hey, that is something that Sayori would like, she's probably gonna say. Oh yeah, they get into an argument. Go to Sayori. I'm being put on the spot list, but Yuri and Natsuki are looking at me. While their hostility isn't aimed at me, I still feel like I'm the target for the anger in their eyes. Guys, I gulp nervously as a bead of sweat trickles down my neck. I'm really not the best judge for this. After all, I'm new, so I'm painfully aware of how weak my voice sounds. Neither girl looks impressed. Wow, real help you are? Natsuki! Let me guess, blah blah blah, you're being so rude. You're a broken record, Yuri, shut up. Ah, so you're finally realizing how insolent you are. You got there in the end, well done. Yuri... Yuri's insults are still the best. I don't know what it is exactly, but yeah, some of her insults, they build up and then they fucking come crashing down in an absolutely spectacular way. And some of them are just like this patronizing. They're like, oh, fucking fantastic, well job, Natsuki, fucking amazing. You're such a bitch. Stop! We're all stunned into silence. I never heard Sayori angry before, and even Natsuki looks taken aback. Immediately, the anger on Sayori's face is replaced by a flood of tears, the anger giving way to sadness. Guys, enough of this, please! You're tearing apart this club! Please don't do this, I love this place so much, you guys are both my friends. I hate it when people fight, it's horrible. This place means so much to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys as well. So please, can we stop arguing over whose style is better? It doesn't even matter, you're both unique, and that's what counts. Yuri and Natsuki are both looking incredibly ashamed of themselves. I guess neither of them expected that their argument would hurt Sayori so much. That once raging fire has been snuffed out, replaced with smoldering embers. I really like your simple style, Natsuki. It's so nice to sit down and read a poem that springs to life. And I know the others do as well. Monika and I nod in earnest, putting a small smile on Natsuki's face. And Yuri, I'm amazed at how complex and deep your poems are. They're really in depth. But there's no need to argue over which style is better. You can't really compare them anyway, it depends on what mood you're in. She's right, guys, sometimes you're just in the mood for something simple, sometimes you might want something a bit more complex. It's like music or movies, people like a variety of things. You can't really say that comedy as a genre is better than action, can you? Both types appeal to different things. You wouldn't watch an action movie for the laughs, would you? Well, there are some action movies that are an exception, but okay. We'll let that slide for the sake of resolving this argument. Look over to Sayori and give her a reassuring smile. She returns with a watery smile of her own, rubbing her tears away. You said it, Mark. She turns to face Yuri and Natsuki once more. Now, you both said some stuff. Yeah, you both said some stuff that was pretty mean. I bit my tongue almost. But I know neither of you meant it. Neither of you are narrow-minded. Although, it would be nice if you could, like, each other's stuff a bit more. So could you try doing that a little, please, for me, for the club? I can't help but laugh as she puts on puppy dog eyes. I don't think she realizes the right time to use them. Sure, whatever, I'll try. Yuri takes a deep breath, finally lifting her eyes off the floor. You're right, Sayori, I'll also make more of an effort. And Natsuki? What? Natsuki still looks quite defiant, all is still expecting another insult from Yuri. I apologize for what I said, your style has its own merits. Natsuki blinks, others are slapped in the face. She clearly wasn't expecting an apology. Nah, it's fine, don't worry about it, your style is... She diverts her eyes downwards once more. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you write pretty well. I shouldn't have said that stuff. Me neither. There's an awkward silence. That's much better, guys. Thank you for putting your differences aside. We all really appreciate it. I'll go make some tea. She rushes off as Natsuki wanders over to the closet. I glance over at Monika, who hasn't said a word throughout the whole argument, which surprised me. Well, yeah, I've read this before too. I've read the entire thing before, but I just wanted to do that. Okay, well, here we are again. Depression, which is fucking sad. Silly? Okay, yeah. This is gonna be news territory though, because the second and third poem I wrote are all were all Yuri related and not Sayori related. Playground, or is that Natsuki? I guess Cry would, yeah. Bouncy? Oh no, that's a Natsuki word. Marriage? Scars? Yeah, I would have really expected that to be with Yuri, but... Valen... No, okay, that's a Sayori... Natsuki word, I mean. Awesome. Okay, I'll pick horror, because I need a bit of Yuri. A little bit of Yuri in my life. Rain clouds. Okay, so raindrops... What? That's a bit weird. Raindrops applies to Yuri, but rain cloud applies to Sayori. Misfortune. Disaster is a Yuri word, apparently. Journey. That's also a Yuri word. Adventure is a Sayori word. Smile is a Sayori word. Scarf? No, that's a Natsuki word. Anime is 100% is a Natsuki word. I'm pretty sure. Pain is a Sayori word. Dream? Oh, that's a Yuri word. Clumsy. Yeah, Sayori is clumsy. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna, even though, yes, I have read all this stuff before, but I want to do a little bit of reading, because if I skip everything and just fucking lightning bolt straight towards fucking Act 2, I really feel like I'm not going to have much of a connection with Sayori, which is, of course, sad. Well, not really, because, of course, I know Sayori a bit longer than today, because I've played the game before, but still. Just a few days ago, I never would have thought that I'd look forward to an extracurricular so much. But here I am, back for another club meeting and anticipating new antics from everybody. The usual scene awaits me as I step into the club room. Hi Mark! Hey Sayori! Looks like you're in a good mood today. Yeah, I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. Is that so? Well, it's nice to see you, so cheery. Anyway, what's new? Oh, I've got some exciting news. Also, what? Oh, really? I'm actually really curious what I'm going to have to do once we get towards the festival. Because... when I was with Yuri, And in the original game, we were all like, I couldn't choose Sayori at all. So, you know, it was kind of like, I'm really curious what we're gonna do now, because I could use like Natsuki as a scapegoat or Yuri as a scapegoat, and then, you know, like, what happens now? Pretty interesting. What's up? Did you know that the student store sells that new brand of strawberry milk now? I saw it when I passed by on my way here. I should have known better than to expect actual news from Sayori. I don't think I've tried that yet. I don't know, strawberry milk is usually too sweet for me. What? But it goes great with melon bread. Sayori, you could eat a packet of raw sugar and you still say not sweet enough. Hey, that's an exaggeration. Seriously though, it goes really well with bread. The milk is sweet, but it still has that unique tart strawberry flavor that's eased with by the richness of the milk. And when you pair that with fresh bread, the sweetness is spread out even more so that it has just the right amount of flavor. Wow, when did you become Gordon Ramsay? Hey, what the hell? He actually, yeah. Previously, they like were scared to mention Gordon Ramsay because when Yuri came over with cooking, then it said like watching a show of a angry chef yelling at cooks. Maybe that gave me enough inspiration or whatever. So they were like very descriptive and they didn't say Gordon Ramsay or Hell's Kitchen or whatever. But and also with other things, I can't really remember what it was. Like a certain anime that I watched for Halloween, I believe. But apparently in Act 1 they just mentioned it. So like, why were they making such an effort to hide, like not specifically mention it in the later acts? That's a bit strange. I'm a food expert, so you should trust me on this. I mean, given how many snacks you eat every day, I don't doubt that you know your food well. I'm gonna take that as a compliment, you meanie. So I'm a meanie for giving her a compliment? Anyway, aren't you hungry now? Talking about food always makes me hungry. Now that you mentioned it, maybe a little. Great, let's go to the student store and buy snacks together then. Ah, now I see what she's playing at. I raise an eyebrow and Sayori notices. Mark, why are you looking at me like that? Well, Sayori, I have a nagging suspicion that you're only trying to convince me to come because you don't have any money. And you just want me to buy you a snack. What? I would never do that. Oh really? Now let's see your purse. Huh? Your purse. Hand it over. Sayori laughs awkwardly as she pulls out her purse. She opens it and dumps its contents onto the desk. 2 small coins fall out. Tusk, tusk, tusk. This little ruse might have actually worked had Sayori not pulled it on me numerous times when we were younger. The amount of times she managed to trick me into buying her another ice cream. I guess some things never change. Nice try, Sayori. No fair, how did you know? No, wouldn't you like to know? Let's just call it intuition. In response, she sticks her tongue out at me. Typical. Yuri suddenly giggles. Huh? I didn't notice she was eavesdropping. Looking over in her direction, I catch her peeking over the top of a book. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Mark to let me borrow some money. That's none of my business, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. It's shameful to manipulate people into doing or buying things for you. Wow, is that a little harsh? I'm only messing around with Sayori after all. Did I just... I didn't mean that. That came out much harsher than I intended. Sorry, well... like, how could you not love Yuri? Well, I guess impatient people could not love Yuri, but... yeah, like, how could you not love Yuri? I just want to give her a hug. Well, same with Sayori. And, yeah. When I'm in a good mood, also Natsuki... and depending on what she's doing, Monika. But that entirely depends on what Monika's doing. Yuri blushes in embarrassment, looking away from us while playing with a strand of her hair. I apologize for how I've been acting lately. It looks like she still might be a bit of ashamed of how she acted yesterday. You know it's okay to be honest sometimes. You should always keep things that bother you to yourself. You shouldn't always keep things that bother you to yourself. There's no way you could think that after. You were right though. I shouldn't trick people into buying me things. Funny how your 10-year-old self didn't see it that way. Yuri lets out a small laugh, covering her mouth with her hands. Even the way she laughs is so shy and proper. Yeah, it's Yuri, Yuri's just fucking awesome. Is this mischievous behavior something Sayori used to display as a child then? Oh yeah, although back then I fell for it time and time again. You wouldn't believe how much candy Sir managed to calm me out of. Don't make me out to be so sneaky, Mark. Although those candies were so good. I'm surprised, Sayori, coming from you. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? What's going on here? Oh, nothing much. Sayori is up to some mischief. Oh? Yes, he tried to trick me into buying her a snack. Hey, that's not true. Monika smiles wryly and turns to me. I'm assuming this isn't the first time? Well, you'd be right. We all share a little chuckle at that, well, everyone except Sayori does. Hey, you guys are being really mean. Okay, we're sorry, but you did bring this upon yourself. Yeah, I know. But in my defense, I am really hungry. Well, Natsuki chimes in. If you're really that hungry, you can have this if you want. She offers up a giant... Yeah, fucking throw in that cookie, Natsuki. No, she doesn't do that in the in this mod. She does it in the original game only. She offers up a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori immediately snatches it out of her hands. Thank you! Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Just eat it. Did I make that same joke last time? I'm pretty sure I did. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. Very good. Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue! Ha! You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Oh, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah? Why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm happy you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Natsuki and wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Oh. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey, did you seriously just do that? It's mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri, Monika and I laugh as well. Geez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori to quit taking her stuff? Sayori, you know you shouldn't do something like that without permission. Monika scolds Sayori. I know. I'm sorry, Natsuki, but it was so good. Hey, everyone but Natsuki chuckles. These things happen a lot, Monika. A little bit too much, to be honest. Don't worry, it's all in good fun. Good fun is teasing each other from time to time, not stealing food. Oh, calm down, it's no big deal. Natsuki pouts in her seat. Everyone calms down and quickly returns to their normal activities. Sayori has already managed to finish the entire cookie. Meanwhile, Natsuki gets up and heads to the closet, and Yuri is already lost in her book. Yeah, there we go, here is new stuff, I can't skip this anymore. Mark! She suddenly comes up to me. I need to get some stuff from another classroom. Can you come with me? Stuff? What stuff? Well, you know how the festival is right around the corner? Monika was gonna make some posters to advertise it. So we'll need to get some crayons and markers and glue sticks, that kind of stuff. Ah, right. Yeah, I'll come with you. Okay, so yeah, this is the new thing. I really wonder what happens in the first day when I choose Yuri as like the most liked poem. Because in the first day I button up Sayori's blazer and then figure out it's way too small. And then my boobs are coming in. Like, Sayori don't say shit like that. But yeah, I really wonder what happens when I choose Yuri for the first time in the first day. Because in the second and third day we just read books. In the second day we read books, and then the third one we also read books, but then on the floor, and then I give her chocolate and stuff. Yay! We'll be back real soon, Monika. You seem quite excited about this, Sayori. Of course, it's so much fun exploring empty classrooms, isn't that right, Mark? Monika laughs and nods at us. Okay, just don't forget the poster paper. I won't. Ready, Mark? Let's go. So Yuri and I exit the club room. I follow behind as she hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. So Yuri finds pleasure in the simplest thing sometimes. Everything is like an adventure to her. Hey, Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature. Monika and I have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. Okay, so if you choose Sayori, you learn about the poetry performance a lot earlier. A performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone's gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. Ah, that sounds, well, not exactly boring, but will people be that interested? Mark, you're not thinking about this the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems, it's about performing them. Like you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots, caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous fields before me, it's but a barren wasteland. It is but a barren wasteland. Like that. Wow, Sayori, I had no idea you had that in you. Huh? What do you mean? I've just never heard you talk like this before. No, it's not a bad thing. It was really... What the hell? Feels like I... Oh, her, what do you mean? No, it's not a bad... Why do I feel like I'm missing Sayori dialogue there, but that could just be me. It was really good. It was just a big contrast from your bubbly self. I'm sure Yuri or Monika would really appreciate it too. I've been working super hard on that poem. It's so good to know that you liked it. I'm excited for the festival. Not just because we'll get to eat loads of stuff like Natsuki said. Natsuki hasn't even mentioned the festival yet, right? Hey meanie, no, not just because of that. Although that is part of it. Hey Mark, this classroom here is empty. I think we'll find what we need in here. Let's start our mission! Strange choice of words for someone going into a classroom to get art supplies, but hey, that's Sayori in a nutshell. Living in her own little world. Her childlike enthusiasm is infectious and brings about the special feeling I forgot I had in me. Some kind of innocent sense of wonder, where even the most mundane of tasks are quests, and walking down the classroom is a magical journey. The two of us enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight into the closet and I'd follow. Let's see what we have here. Crayons? Sayori pulls out a box of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand too. They're kind of dirty though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted, we still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. Can you move over so that I can look for the poster paper? Oh, I dropped one by accident. Smack! Yeah! Or something. Kia! Like a bird, a Kia. Oh fucking hell, those things are so annoying, Kias. If you have ever played Dwarf Fortress, then you know what I'm talking about. They keep interrupting your dwarves. Those stupid giant parrots. But you don't write it with a Y. You write a Kia with an I, as in the car, the Kia. But the giant parrots, and they keep interrupting your dwarves all the time. It's super annoying. Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She falls to the floor, and the crayons spill all over her lap. Ow! Sayori, are you okay? My forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead. What happened? Did you cut it? Is it bruised? Or... No, nothing like that. I think I just bumped it. Gee, Sayori, you really had me worried for a second there. I can't help but let out a chuckle. This is such a typical thing to happen to Sayori. It's almost like she got clumsy written across her forehead. Which, fittingly enough, is where she hurt herself. Hey, why are you laughing, you meanie? I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you or anything. I'm laughing with you. It's just, this is so typical of you. What's that meant to mean? Nothing. Let me see your forehead. Let me see your forehead. Since Sayori's sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori, but it hurts. Oh, hi. Oh, there are the crayons. I'll be gentle, I promise, it won't hurt. Sayori slowly releases her hand from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow! Sorry. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Oh, don't worry, it's not that bad. but it really hurts. And whimpering triggers are a really strong protective instinct I didn't know I had. Hey, I'll get you some ice. It'll keep the swelling down and it should relieve a bit of the pain. Just stay here, okay? I'll be back as soon as I can. Actually, where do I find ice? Actually, where would I find some ice? Think, Mark, think. I got it. A cold drink should do the trick. That's not ice. I mean, it's cold, but it's not ice. Are you sure? You don't have to. I think I make a great unicorn. What the fuck, Sayori? Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. I'm sure you make a great unicorn, but I think I prefer you as a human. Unicorns are so cool, though. Anyway, I'll be right back, okay? Okay. I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? I guess it doesn't really matter because she won't be drinking it. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that. Oh, that's a good choice. Apple juice is extremely nice. Just in a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left Sayori. Hi, I'm back. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Here you go. Nice, there's actually a bottle of apple juice. It looks extremely empty though, so I guess I already took a sip on the way here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it, yeah. Sayori, what are you doing? This is for your forehead, idiot. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. Immediately her laughter subsides, replaced by a gasp of pain. It stings. I know. I'm sorry. It'll feel better soon enough, I promise. It looks like you cleaned out most of the crayons, so that's good. Hey Mark, this kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? What do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like, I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing the things you did. But sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump, and I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over it quickly as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself, and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Oh, I had that happen, but that was my own fault. I got my head smashed in with a fucking roof, what are the things called? Roof tiles? You know those things that you put on a roof? I guess they're called roof tiles. My parents were renovating the house and they were getting a new roof, and they put all the old roof tiles on like a pile, and then because they put new ones on. And a friend and I were playing, and we on that, because you know it's a huge pile of junk, and we were children. Of course, you're gonna play on that, you know. So we were playing on that, and we were smashing roof tiles because they were gonna go away anyway. So it didn't matter if we broke any of them. And then I threw one up in the sky, and then it fell down on the floor, and it would like make a huge like noise and stuff. It was fucking awesome. So we would try it, we would throw ones up, and then I threw one and I didn't know where it was, and it landed right on my own head, and it really hurt, of course, and there was a lot of blood on my head. And then of course my friend was super scared, well, like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? And like, what am I supposed to do? And then I, with like blood running down from here, like all the way down my face, I walked back inside and tried to like act nonchalantly about it, even though there was literally like blood from the top of my head, like dripping down through my hair, and then like past my eyes, like down my cheeks and stuff. Like, yeah, it's fine. Nothing happened, of course. Nothing happened outside. And then of course my parents are like, what did you do? Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know? I remember those days. You were always so clumsy, and I guess not much has changed. Hey, I did this deliberately, you know? I raised an eyebrow. I always wanted to be a unicorn. That has to be perhaps the least believable excuse I've ever heard in a while. Oh, I've heard in a while. No, ever. Yeah, okay. I guess I've never really been on the graceful side. I did always feel bad whenever you got hurt when we played together. Looking back, I should have been more mindful of what you could and couldn't do. Guess it's the same here. If I hadn't rushed you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hurt yourself. My mother was right. She'd scold me after you got hurt, always telling me I had to be more careful around you. Mark, don't feel bad about it. It's my own fault for being so clumsy. Besides, even if I got hurt, those times are still my favorite memories of us. Aww. It also made me realize how thoughtful you are. Yeah? I wasn't thoughtful at all, I just got you hurt. No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I mean. You're always looking out for me. Even after all these years, you always rush to help me. No matter what the situation, you're always there to reassure me and make me feel safe. I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. It's just around you, it feels natural, I guess. Why the hell would I say that? Sayori would say this, right? Yeah. Oh, no, never mind. No. Okay, never mind. I said that before, and then I also say the other one. That makes sense. Okay. I thought Sayori said this as well, and then I thought that this is the perfect follow-up. And then I was like, oh, why the hell do I say that? But no, I said this, and then I say that, so that makes sense. I just do it subconsciously, because I even know it, I'm treating you like... Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. Guess it's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Don't know if I've told you this before, but I'm really grateful we're friends, Mark. I'll admit, I kinda missed you over the years. We used to hang out a lot. I was surprised when you approached me the other day. I wasn't really sure what to make of it all at first. But as we got to hang out in the club, share poems and walk home, I realized that nothing had really changed. You think we'll be like this forever, Mark? As much as I want to say yes, there's no telling how life will be for us during college or even afterwards. Still, I can be positive though. I sure hope so, Sayori. It's been this long already, right? Can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. We haven't really talked in years. Then when we do, it's just like nothing's really changed. I think I read somewhere that's a sign of a friendship that's built to last. So here's hoping. I hope so too. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression on her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. Who'd have guessed that such a simple action to get some crayons would have resulted in such a heartfelt moment? Yeah, exactly. Then again, with Sayori, it's impossible to tell. Anyway, I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monika, you know? Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead out of the way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops to her feet. Ah! She clutches her forehead again. Sayori, don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Sorry. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the... Did we get the poster paper? Sayori plays with the bangs to try and hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the club room. Oh, you're back. Good timing, was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Sayori, your foreheads. I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. Triple dots. Are you okay, Sayori? Yeah, I'm fine. Mark got me a nice cold drink. Right, okay, glad you're okay, Sayori. Did you get everything we needed? Uh-huh, I have it right. Ah! Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all of the stuff! Calm down, Sayori, I have it right here. Oh, that bump on her head must have hurt her a bit more than we all thought. And I found... Oh, good, okay, good. I found the poster paper too. Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Mark. Ah, well, Sayori... I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Thanks, you two. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? I guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. Alright, yeah, usually I would go Yuri, Sayori, Natsuki, Monika, but right now I'll start with Sayori. Mark, your poems are seriously amazing. I can't believe you never told me how good of a poet you were. Huh? Sorry, I'm really not that great. You're the only one who likes my poems this much. Really? I guess I'll be honest with you. I find it easy to write poems when I'm thinking about our memories together. Huh? Really? Sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? I nervously laugh, noticing the blush that's crept up on Sayori's cheeks. I don't know, I feel like my life's kinda boring. Like, whatever happens in it is just literally that. Whereas with you, well, whenever I look back on our memories, everything seems such an adventure whenever you were around. Like when we went exploring that forest near our house ages ago. You made it seem like it was an exciting adventure, kinda like we were both archaeologists or something. Whereas if I were there myself, I'd just think I was going for a stroll in the forest. I glance over at Sayori. She has a faraway look on her face, wearing a wistful smile. Yeah, I remember that. I was convinced there were spooky wood trolls out there. Ah! That's exactly what I mean. You've got such a vivid imagination. Interesting, because vivid is, I believe, a Yuri word in the poem selection area. And I guess I can tap into that imagination when I'm thinking about you. We have this sort of connection. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And it's still there, even after all these years. I think I sort of understand what you mean. Can I ask a favor of you, Mark? What's up? Can I keep this poem? This is the first time you've written something for me. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I didn't write it for you. But okay, you can keep it. I still don't think my poetry skills are anything special. I can have it? Yay! Thank you! Hold on, Sayori, not everyone has read my poem yet, so I think it'd be unfair if I'd give you my poem right now. Oh, that's true. I should have thought of the others first. It's fine. I get that you're just excited. I'll give it to you later, okay? Okay. Anyway, I'll still need yours to read. I'll still need to read yours. Oh, I totally forgot. It's nowhere near as good as yours, though. I'm sure I'll like it. Yeah, I've read this one before, and we can skip this. And then Natsuki's gonna hate it, of course. Oh, not bad, but not good. Honestly, it's just like your first poem. No, I did kind of try to write like I did kind of try to write it like my first one, although I did attempt to make it a little bit better. Well, mission accomplished, I guess. Wow, you're being nice, Natsuki. What the fuck is going on? What did you sniff this morning? Still, same things as last time. Trying to make it more creative. Just kind of bland as it is. Noted. Oh yeah, I should probably show you mine. Here. Oh, this is a new one, right? I don't think I've read this before. I don't get it. Don't get why people will hate on good rhymes. They act like it's dumb and a waste of their time. Don't diss their free verse or deep subject types. Be dark all you want. Just keep in your gripes. Oh sure, you can tell me if you have a problem. Just keep it constructive and things will be awesome. I'd like you to know that our readers will differ. There's no best style, no smug old glue. You smug old glue sniffer. Oh no, never mind. This is not new. I read Give Things a Chance. You might feel something nice. Just open your mind and that will suffice. I read that and I was like, hey, I thought Natsuki's poem was very mean, and this doesn't seem very mean. But then I read this about old glue sniffer, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, never mind. My poems may be simple and often straightforward, but charm can be found in such whimsy and order. Not all poems can be as complex as you'd like. If you think otherwise, you can go take a hike. What about kids or the elderly too? Some read for fun, I guess, unlike you. Yeah, the poem written just to bash Yuri. So what do you think? I mean, it's written well at least. I'm not sure how I should confront Natsuki about this, but to say that she holds a grudge from yesterday would be an understatement. God forbid Yuri to see this poem, exactly. That's a given. But yeah, you could say that I was inspired. It really felt good to pound on these lines. Poetry's amazing emotional outlet, you know? Anyway, I can't wait to show Yuri this poem. Wait, hold on. What? Natsuki, do you really think that showing this poem is a good idea? You're really going at her throat with this. Don't you think you should work out your issues with her? Yeah, well, she never tries to see things my way, so why should I? I think that's the wrong way to go about this. Relationships are a two-way street. Both people have to work to make things right. Why don't you try being the bigger person and just talk to her first? But I already know what she's going to try. She's not going to try. Oh fuck, I should have picked Yuri first, because then I could have told her that Yuri wrote like Natsuki. She's always so preoccupied with looking complicated and smart. It's clear to me that she doesn't care if anyone can understand her, including me. You can't understand her if you don't even try. She might speak using more complex vocabulary, and she may have mannerisms that seem strange to you. But from what I've seen of the both of you, she's more similar to you than you might think. Eh? Aren't you judging a book by its cover right now? Well, whatever. You can't hold this grudge forever, you know? At least, think of Monika and Sayori. Fine, I won't show Yuri my poem. Are you happy? I won't be happy until you try to talk to her. She's not gonna bite, Natsuki. But if anything, you're gonna be the one that's gonna bite. Alright, I get it. I'll try to talk to her sometime. Thanks. You're gonna do the club proud. Shut it. Man, now I have to hide this poem away. I worked really hard on it, you know? Could easily turn that energy towards more positive things though, right? I guess so. I'm just frustrated that my poem's message missed the mark this time. She's always trying to make something people can take a message away from. Remember that. Anyway, I'm gonna write a good one tomorrow. Just you wait. Right, let me take a look at your piece for today. I must say, Mark, I like this poem a fair bit more than yesterday's. Even this early, your skill is improving remarkably. Really? Thanks, Yuri. That means a lot. I know how much you care about this sort of thing. It's really no trouble. I know sometimes writing can be a daunting task, so don't be too concerned if things don't always work out. Pushing the boundaries in poetry can be a great thing. Metaphors might seem complicated sometimes, but don't stress them too much. Well, of course, you want to choose images that can capture the message you're trying to get across. I think the first things that come to mind are probably the clearest. Even if the metaphor doesn't seem to make sense, it can force your reader to think about something they wouldn't normally. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. I see. I think I might give that a go with my next poem. Thank you for sharing that with me, Yuri. Well, if you'd like to see an example of that, I've written something that captures that essence. Sure, I'd love to take a look. If it's something you've written, I'm sure it'll floor me. Yuri smiles shyly, handing me her poem. Yeah, she wrote... Yeah, this is that one poem. Yeah, she wrote it like in Natsuki's style. I felt a bit guilty after yesterday's argument with Natsuki. I wanted to experiment with my style a bit more. Hopefully it's not too confusing. Yeah, and then... Okay, well, I've read all this. And then Monika... Hi, Monika. Alright, I can see you put in some good effort here. Very sincere poem once again. Very similar to Sayori's poetry. You might still have more in common with her than you think. Maybe. It's easy to write about from my heart when I'm thinking about nostalgic things, so that might be it. Writing poetry while wearing rose-tinted glasses then. Oh, it's not like I do it intentionally, it's just how my brain works. I mean, if you did, there's nothing wrong with that. Poetry can be seen as another way to express your inner emotions. A way that you can use when ordinary prose can't quite describe what's in your mind. So writing about how your long-lost childhood friend makes you feel is just as valid as, say, writing about how the human condition is inherently full of conflict. I'm guessing that the latter is more of a Yuri poem. You might think that, but actually it's a style like Sayori's. But actually, a style like Sayori's could still fit that theme just as well. Really, how do you figure? Well, first off, if you heard of the poet Robert Frost? No? I have, apparently. Probably in an English class somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if you learned about him in class. He's an incredibly famous American poet after all. Yeah, I'd never heard of him. Anyway, it's easy to recognize his poetry, since he always used classic meters and tons of monologues and dialogue. Okay, no, that's impossible. It can't be an American poet if he uses meters. That's impossible. He's also pretty fond of themes centering around the nature and New England. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that doesn't sound anything like Sayori's poetry. No, you're actually right. She doesn't have the lyricism that Frost has, and not too many of their themes intersect. I guess the mood for their poetry is what strikes me as similar. Both of them write incredibly sincere and powerful poems, even though they aren't mind-boggling complex or anything. And although their poems may seem to be about one thing at first, with another read-through you might find there's actually a deeper meaning behind the words. Oh, don't worry, Monika. I already figured this out when I read Sayori's poems for the first time. Same thing with your poems, actually, about like talking about how you're trapped inside and forced to play along with the mod and stuff. That does sound a bit more like Sayori's poetry. Is she really that deep? Mark, you shouldn't underestimate Sayori. In fact, yeah, exactly. In fact, why don't you ask her for another look at her poetry? Then you'll see what I mean. Alright, I'll talk to her about it sometime. But in the meantime, you want to show me your poem? I think it's about time we let your poem shine. Sure thing, Mark. Like the way this one turned out. I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Yeah, pressurized. Suffocating in a vacuum of torment. Suffocating. I'm stuck in a fucking endless abyss of pain and suffering. Yeah. Alright, well, and then the rest is just the same as before. And then we're talking about... Yeah, Natsuki is not going to show her poem to Yuri. But I've read this all before in my Yuri playthrough if you want to read all of that. Watch the first few episodes of Blue Skies, because that's where all this happens. Doesn't really make a lot of sense if I do all those episodes again. Okay, yeah, oh yeah, ooh, important choice time. I would still walk home with Sayori. I guess that's the correct thing to say. Yeah, she's gonna ask, like, if Yuri asked me to walk home, would I walk home with Yuri? I walk home with you, of course. Sayori pauses for a moment. Eh? She glanced at me from the side before turning away. But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez, why me? Her reply surprises me, and I'm not sure how to answer or what she wants me to hear. I already see you in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Mark. She gives me a plain smile. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it, so... Yeah, I don't really know what Sayori wants to hear. Yeah, is this the good thing to say? I don't know. Because, in real life, in a normal situation, it would totally make sense to say, yeah, I would walk home with Yuri, because, like, you know, like, Yuri is super shy and shit, and then of course I would say, like, oh, I would walk home with Yuri. So, you know. But then, I don't know whether whether Sayori wants to hear that or not. Really can't figure you out sometimes, sorry. Besides, like I said, I have enjoyed catching up with you again. By the way, I changed that just for another girl. Walking on with you and talking about just anything is a real throwback. She doesn't seem as happy as I have imagined. I mean, both our childhoods were pleasant. Strange. The conversation trails off. Yeah, okay, so I really think... Yeah, loads. Welcome with Yuri. I mean, get an artist to socialize. That's another thing that I said. You admitted it, jeez. Yeah, I guess this is better in some way. I know, I'm gonna save a separate one here. just in case that isn't the correct one. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna end the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, this first part is a bit hectic because I'm skipping through a lot because I've read everything already, and I'm only like reading the new bits. Because otherwise this entire part would, like, because, you know, usually when I do this normally, every day would be an episode. So it's like 5 days because it's 1 week before the festival starts, and then the festival itself. So it's like 6 episodes before we even get to proper new stuff. 6 episodes of stuff that I've already read before. So, you know, I'm gonna skip through a bit to get to the newer bits, and then of course, once we get into Act 2, I'm obviously going to read everything again because, you know, that's all new territory again. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman Army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.